Welcome to the kitchen. Today we're gonna make Chinese Moo Shu vegetables. I love this. Anytime I order Chinese, I always get Moo Shu. I love wrapping it up in these wrappers with the Hoisin sauce. My favorite thing. Today we're gonna make it with carrot, celery, Napa cabbage, scallions, snow peas, bean sprouts, fresh ginger, wood's ear mushrooms. We just went to Chinatown yesterday with our class to get some of these ingredients, and these are the wood's ear mushrooms. They're dried. The Moo Shu wrappers, we were lucky we actually found Moo Shu wrappers. If you can't find the Moo Shu wrapper, you can use a spring roll wrapper, or you can even make what's called a Mandarin pancake. So that could be another recipe at another time. Our bamboo shoots, Shaoxing cooking wine, toasted sesame oil, soy sauce, and of course Hoisin sauce. All these things are in our recipe, and let me get everything mise en place and I'll show you how to make it. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel so we can bring you more recipes. Thank you. Here's our Napa cabbage, and we want to cut it nice and thin strips. Here are our scallions, and I want to cut them on the bias in really nice thin slices, just like this. And we're going to cut all the way up, like so. So you have all the tops. All right, I peeled out ginger, and now we're going to grate it on a microplane zester, and then we need 2 teaspoons. So as you continue to grate it, it's going to accumulate right on the back, and then just push it off with your finger. And we want 2 teaspoons. Here are our wood's ear mushrooms, and they do take a while to rehydrate, so let's get them into a bowl. And we're just gonna put cold water on them and let them sit here for 2 hours to rehydrate and plump up. They plump up a lot, so you need plenty of water. Here are our wood's ear mushrooms. They've really plumped up, as you can see. Look how big that is now. All right, and then what you want to do before you can start using it is you're going to wash it off in cold water and just rub to make sure there's no dirt left on it. So you really want to rub this under cold water, and then we can start slicing it. So here we have our mushrooms, and this is how thin you want to slice it, really nice and thin. You may be familiar with this type of mushroom. If you've ever had hot and sour soup, this is the mushroom that is in hot and sour soup. All right, here's our white shimeji mushrooms that we got in Chinatown, and I'm gonna slice off, I already sliced it, but we're gonna slice off the base, because then we want to separate all of these mushrooms into individual pieces, and if they're stuck, just use your knife and separate these all up. We want the nice long stem. Aren't these beautiful? They're such an unusual. The shiitake mushrooms I couldn't find, but these are a beautiful substitute. If you can't find any of these sort of mushrooms in your grocery store, just use white button mushrooms. That's no problem. All right, so I'm going to take a little while to do that, but we're going to separate all of those. Here we have 1 teaspoon of cornstarch, and to that we're going to add our 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, add 2 teaspoons of our Shaoxing wine, 1, 2, our 3 tablespoons of water, and 2 tablespoons of our Hoisin sauce, and we're going to stir that all together. All right, we have all of our mise en place ready, and I have my wok. We're gonna put it over high heat, and once it gets hot, really hot, you're gonna see sort of like some smoke coming off of it. Then we're gonna add in our sesame oil. We've got our 2 tablespoons of sesame oil in there. We're gonna add in our 1 clove of garlic and our 2 teaspoons of grated ginger. Let's turn the heat down on that. And then we're gonna get our cabbage in right away. Cooking with the wok is always cooking with hot, very hot pan. So I've got all of our cabbage in there, and it's been cooking for a minute too. It's beginning to get tender. Now the carrots are a bit thick, even though they're the shredded ones that you use for salads, but I do want them in because the thickness of them tends to take longer to cook than all the other vegetables. So I'm gonna get that in there quickly too. And we're gonna continue to sort of stir this up. And we wanna wait until the carrots are nice and tender before we add the rest of our ingredients. We'll be cooking a while, and so we can see that our carrots have gotten nice and tender. So we're gonna start to add in the rest of our vegetables. I'm gonna keep the scallions out and put them in at the end. But here are our bean snow peas, our bamboo shoots, celery, put those in, get those stirred around. Now I'm using a wooden spoon, I don't have a wok spatula, but if you have a wok spatula, even better. And you want to keep stirring this around, and getting all of that stuff sauteed. Then we're going to add in our wood's ear mushrooms and our Samiji mushrooms and our bean sprouts. And what we're going to do now is, after I stir it all together, we're going to put the lid on and we're going to let this steam for about 3 minutes. So let me stir this all together. For our Moo Shu wrappers, they were in the freezer. I took them out. They've been sitting out for a little bit, and I'm just going to heat them up almost like a tortilla in our frying pan. Now you can do, that's the quick way to do it, or you can put them in and steam them. So this has been steaming for about 3 minutes. And you see how beautiful it looks? It smells so good. So again, we want to stir this around, and now we're going to add in our scallions. Get those in there, bright green. What I love about doing this at home is that you can add all these beautiful bright green vegetables. A lot of times when I get the Moo Shu vegetables from the restaurant, sometimes they don't put in as many green vegetables, and it's a lot of cabbage instead. So this way you can control what is actually in your recipe. And now here is our marinade, our seasonings. We're gonna add that with the cornstarch, and that'll thicken and make a nice glaze on all of this. We're gonna continue to stir it all. And then I also wanna add about another tablespoon of our sesame oil at the very end. Here we go, it smells absolutely wonderful. And I have this beautiful plate here. We're gonna just put it out. And this is great for, this is enough to feed a family of 4 or my class of high school students, just to get a sample of it. I love trying out new foods. And we went to Chinatown yesterday, had so much fun checking things out. So these are gonna be really excited to try this. So we're gonna put this with our Moo Shu wrapper. So this is my warmed up Moo Shu wrapper or Mandarin pancake, and here we have some extra hoisin sauce. So I always like to put more onto the pancake. I love hoisin sauce. And get that on. Spread it out, and then we're gonna take a whole bunch of our steaming hot vegetables. Now this is a vegetarian Moo Shu vegetable dish. A lot of times, most Chinese restaurants also serve their Moo Shu vegetables with egg in it. So like a scrambled egg, it goes into it. That's up to you. I wanted to make this vegetarian, so this has no egg. But just so you know, some places actually put egg into it. And then we're just gonna roll it up. So we're gonna fold this over this way, then fold it over from the bottom, and then this way, and make, hard to do with one hand, but we're getting it. Making a little packet, and then you eat it. There we go. You gotta pick it up and eat it, almost like a quesadilla. And it is absolutely delicious. I'll take a bite. That was so good. Oh, I can't wait to eat the rest of it. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this and are inspired to make it at home. Again, our Moo Shu vegetables. Thank you so much for watching. Recipe demonstrations, please click like and subscribe to Chef Victoria Loves YouTube channel and have fun in the kitchen. Thank you.